Hi, I'm Dan Eversmeyer, and today I'm going to show you the new LSEG Workspace add-ins for Excel and PowerPoint, which will power data discovery, visualization, and reusability of financial insights. The new LSEG Workspace add-ins for Excel and PowerPoint will power data discovery, visualization, and reusability of financial insights. Today's junior investment bankers spend hours finding the right data to use in their analysis, sorting through thousands of fields, applying as many as a dozen different parameters, and ultimately creating formulas that are complex and hard to manage without becoming expert custom functions. Through the partnership with Microsoft, LSEG has been able to create new LSEG deals data types. We can create one in the cell either through the task pane or through a simple function. Referencing that function, I'm able to understand what I can access on this data type. In this case, if I were to specify, for example, a get items, it will go and fetch the 100 most recent transactions directly into the grid. Data types have cards accessible through the Intel icons that allow you to browse content or audit calculations directly within the cell. We can also navigate back into the full workspace platform to get additional context about the data. If I reference a data type and press dot, it will also tell me which functions are available here. For example, I could retrieve the rank value, or I could retrieve the acquirer's name. As I reference additional data types, you'll notice that the fields all change. So for example, I now see things like revenue available here when I reference a company. When we apply this into a more realistic scenario, in a templated model, users can take the familiar approach of specifying inputs and outputs using native Excel capabilities to audit calculations or build visualizations. For example, I can trace the precedence through this formula to see where the inputs are being generated, or I can use the in-cell icon to navigate through the different filters that are being applied to this data type to generate the league table. For example, checking to see which economic sector filter is being applied, and even going beyond the filter itself and seeing more information about the utilities industry directly within the card. Our annotations application allows you to find market-moving news and add them directly to Excel charts. I can open that up, search for a company, specify a time period, and see a list of the dates, price, percent change in volume. I can sort on one of those columns, for example, to find the heaviest volume days over the last year. And I can click through the blue links to see LSEG's leading news offering, including Reuters, directly within the grid. I can find articles that are relevant to annotating this chart. And I can also quickly surface things like earnings events over the past year and see a pithy summary of that event. Adding them and inserting them to the grid is a brand new capability that will relieve a lot of the pain points associated with updating these charts over time as the underlying data changes. When I insert it to the chart, we can establish a link between the chart and the table itself that allows you to add custom annotations or even to just change the series or the visibility of the annotations themselves, putting you in full control. We can take that visual we created and add it to our new LSEG asset library, which will supercharge the reusability of charts, tables, or slides across Excel and PowerPoint. When adding it to the library, I can apply a custom name, apply custom tags, and browse the available automatically collected metadata that will supercharge the search experience. When I add this to the library, I can immediately view it here in Excel, or I can move over to PowerPoint where I can view my assets and add them directly into the Excel with a binding that enables them to be updated in the future. Thanks for your time today. We're super excited about how the new LSEG Workspace add-ins for Excel and PowerPoint will power the way you discover data, visualize it, and reuse it. You can access the new add-in through the App Store today.